I grew up in a Christian family, and so a very broken family. My biological father was in and out of prison all of my childhood. My mother remarried for the third time when I was in middle school.
I believed that it was a great normal situation in my family, my household. My entire life, I didn't have my father at home. He owned his own business, and to me, it was normal for him to just live somewhere else.
I come from Venezuela. Valencia is my city. Things in my country were really hard at the moment. A lot of protest, a lot of crisis. So my parents decided that it wasn't safe for me to stay in Venezuela anymore.
Growing up, life wasn't always the easiest. My parents divorced when I was real young. I was 8 years old, and then my older cousin died not long after that, who was a big figure in my life, a big role model in my life. And so I just remember, as a kid, I was always very confused about life.
I was in active addiction and alcoholism for 21 years. And so I reached out to a ministry in Kaufman that helps women in crisis. And I didn't think anybody would answer the phone on Christmas morning, 2013, but someone did. And they told me to be there at 8 o'clock or my bed would be gone.
I treated God the same way that I treated my father, right? That I don't need you completely. I need you in some aspects, but the other aspects, I can do it. I've done it. But I quickly found out that that's not the case, right? That I did need God in his wholeness, right? Not just in certain areas.
Growing up, my dad was pretty absent. Ever since the divorce, he just kind of took a step back from our lives, my siblings and I. And so having a spiritual father it shifts life, it shifts purpose, it shifts the way you perceive everything.
I came in at about 18 months clean and sober and in the faith. And at first I was only able to take one class. That's all I could afford. And then I just kept praying and asking God that if this is what you would have me do and this is what you want from me, I'm gonna put forth the effort. I'll work like it depends on me, and I'll pray like it depends on you. I got a call from the financial aid office, and my entire semester was paid through donors, through scholarships.
The spiritual fathers began whenever I was just in a late youth, early college, whenever I entered into Criswell and was able to take hold of some of these professors that really saw the need to give spiritual guidance and love in a way that I'd never experienced that before.
These are people who, on a daily basis, they're in classrooms, but once they're not in the classrooms, they go and they minister to others in churches, in counseling, and I just really admire them for that because they come to the classroom and they tell you how it really is. This is how you are in ministry, and this is what the Lord plans for us.
People at Criswell, these professors that cared and loved me, spiritual fathers said that they cared for me. They loved me. What a concept, They hugged me. They were there for me, right? They called me son. And it was hard. It's a hard transition not hearing that. And first off, not believing that I'm worthy enough to be a son, right? I'm not worthy enough to be loved. But these professors, specifically this one that was my mentor, kind of blew that out of the water.
Folks at Criswell take the time to invest in you. We have a prof who's now the Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Graham. Every morning he meets students in the library for scripture reading at 7 a.m. So I got to do that my first year of college, and I just don't know any other university or institution where the professor will meet you at 7 a.m. just to have scripture reading and pray with you to start your day.
The bakers and other donors that support our school are part of my journey. And not just my journey, but all of the people that I get to touch, that God will allow me to speak into their lives. And that makes it possible. I wouldn't be able to come to Criswell College if it wasn't for that.
When you give to Criswell College, you're giving to a cause that is creating and forming world changers, right? They're able to come in to express themselves uniquely and to be changed and formed by Scripture and nurtured by these fantastic professors.
I look back now, I'm a pastor and I'm serving in the church, and I'm a father, and I'm a husband, and I'm faithfully leading my children, I'm faithfully leading my wife, and faithfully pastoring a church. And I look back as someone who was so inadequate of all those things, yet Criswell shaped and molded me, and God used Criswell in such an instrumental way in my life for just a few years that prepared me for this moment of what God is calling me to.